All right, gamers, we are back, and I hope you are ready for one of everybody's favorite Sonic games, Sonic the Fighters, and this is Beans Percent? Is that right? Bean Percent? With Illegally Sam. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing alright. Hello there, everybody. I hope you're ready to get frickin' beaned. Because I'm sure, as everybody knows, the most famous, memorable, everybody's favorite Sonic character, Bean the Dynamite, is one of the 8 playable characters in Sonic the Fighters. So, naturally, that means we gotta play through the game with him, because he's the one bird character. You even can see him on the little demo screen right now. But yeah, this game, it's an arcade fighting game. It has an arcade mode. We're just gonna play through the whole thing as fast as we can with Bean the Dynamite. And before we get started, I understand that we did have an incentive for this game.
We did, and I believe, I'm going to double check here, but I do believe it was met.
Alright. In that case, we'll be bumping up from normal to hard for the CPU difficulty. Because this is the Xbox 360 arcade re-release of Sonic the Fighters, and one of the features it has is you have a bunch of settings when you boot up the arcade mode. And so everything is kept to default except for the difficulty, because you all paid for it. So let's go ahead and start fighting some Sonics. Alright, so time will start after I select my character here, so let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So yeah, as I said, this is Sonic the Fighters, and we're just going to be fighting through everybody with Bean the Dynamite. And what that means is there are 8 characters in this game. That means you have to beat up all 8 of them in a row, and then beat the final boss of the game, which is Metal Sonic. So there's going to be, ideally, only 9 fights, assuming none of them decide to be mean and I lose. Because Knuckles is the first character here, he's not going to put up much of a fight, and you can kind of just combo him like this. And we're done with Knuckles. Unfortunately, every character after Knuckles is not going to be that easy.
Oh, I think it's kind of funny that the guy with abilities built around punching is the chump.
Yeah. Alright, so next up is Amy, and one of the main mechanics of this game is the barrier system. And so how the barriers work is you can block using, the block button, and as long as you have barriers, you can still block. That's those little icons in the bottom left and the bottom right. As you can see, Amy has no barriers. Your barriers persist in between rounds, and what that means for the speedrun is that, ideally in round 1, I take out as many of the barriers as possible from the opponent, because once they have no barriers, they cannot block, and once they can't block, things go way faster. Alright, just one more. There we go. And there we go, that's Amy done. Thankfully, these fights do get harder as the rounds go on, so I will not be able to just cheese the later characters nearly as much. And thankfully this main combo here, where I just peck them over and over again, it ends with an attack that breaks a barrier. And so for enemies where I don't have a guarantee that they're going to just block over and over again, that works because it's both my best damage most consistent damage dealing method, and it also breaks a barrier at the end. So if they're a character that inconsistently blocks, then I could just use it and just break one of their barriers at the end.
We love built-in option selects in this house.
Yeah, if they are a character that blocks over and over again, and I know I can consistently do that, a faster way to break the barriers is by doing that one kick that I did against Amy, because that kick will break a barrier instantly every single time. But if I go for that and they don't block, oftentimes they will counter, and that is obviously slower than me hitting them. Right, but that was Bark the Polar Bear, which I'm sure is another one of everybody's favorite Sonic characters. It's not like they originated from this game and basically showed up nowhere else or anything. But next up is Espio the Chameleon, which is an actual Sonic character that people might know.
He looks a little different. I can't quite put my finger on it.
It might be because this is a 3D game from 1996.
That may be it.
Which predates pretty much every Sonic 3D game that people care about.
Super valid.
Alright. Ouch. Yeah, this is what happens. There are moves in this game that play like those long animations, and they often do a lot of damage, so ideally the enemies don't really do those at all, but I have limited control over what the AI decides to do. Tails is one of the worst characters for it, because sometimes he'll just like pick you up and drop you, and that animation is like a full like 3 or 4 seconds. Or sometimes he does stuff like that, and he just absolutely schmixes me up. Alright, but yeah, yep, there he is. There's his drop attack, and it does a lot of damage too.
Oh wow, he's a grappler? No way they made Tails a grappler. Oh my goodness. Well, while you are fighting this menace, it does look like we got $5 from Shu. That was, thank you, Shu, we appreciate you very much. 47 instances of less than 3, and then the word quack. I did count them. I'm pretty sure I got it right. I hope that's all right. And that did get put towards Cataquack for the Mario Kart World character, as well as a short hike for Cece's new costume, and a duck in the pool. So if we could get, we'll do our best to get a duck in there named after you, Shu. If you have one in particular, let us know, and we'll try to pick it. But if random is the case, then we'll just throw it over to Cece and let him wreak havoc.
All right. And now we follow up Tails with Fang the Sniper, aka the Zoner, because he has a cap gun, and he will just spam that at you if you're at a distance. Thankfully, he's like pretty weak besides that. The problem is just if you have any distance from him, he will just spam that move, and it's very annoying. That's not to say like he's that great if you're playing against him, because the cap gun can't break barriers, and so like if I wanted to like actually play this safe and not fast, I would just block every time he does that, but it's faster to try and hit him than to try and block him, and I just have to hope that he doesn't shoot his gun over and over again. Ouch. Also, Bean's like main gimmick is that he's Bean the Dynamite, which means he throws bombs, and those bombs can hit me if I'm in their radius when they hit the ground, so also, because they're slow and don't actually do that much damage, I don't want to use them. So if you see me throwing bombs, usually it's because I inputted the wrong move by accident. Also, now it's the mirror match. So yeah, the way the game, quote-unquote, explains the mirror match is just, if the same character is fighting themselves, Eggman just shows up, shoots the one character with a beam, and then they turn into 2 characters, and one of them is monochrome. That is the explanation you get.
That does sound like a pretty effective Eggman invention.
Alright. And then ideally, every time I knock an enemy back into the wall and they go up in the air, I'm able to kick them in midair and get some extra damage before they hit the ground, but the timing is a bit finicky and requires, like, kind of strict positioning, so sometimes it is just not going to work out. But thankfully, that main peck combo that I have can hit enemies in midair, so the optimal situation is... Bean's putting up a bit of a fight. Oh, that's unfortunate. Dang, I lost a round. Not that big a deal, though. I still have round 3. But yeah, the optimal combo is I do that where I kick them in midair, and then I'm able to hit them with the peck combo again before they hit the ground, just for massive damage. But again, the timing is a bit finicky, and depending on where they are, that positioning doesn't quite line up. Alright, now it's the Hedgehog of the Hour, Sonic. And we're going to show him why birds are better. But not before he sticks a bomb in my mouth and wastes my time. Also, I do want to mention, in true Sonic game fashion, this game has very, very good music. Very underrated.
I've been jamming along. It's pretty solid.
Alright. Yeah, and when characters are on the ground like this, you'll see I'm usually just waiting for them to get back up, because there are moves that hit enemies while they're on the ground, but they are sometimes slow, and depending on the positioning, I will go for it, miss, and then I just lose more time than if I had just let them get up on their own, so... Again, positioning is key. Also, now that we have all 8 Chaos Emeralds, which I'm sure everybody knows there's 8 of them, right? That's the number in every Sonic game, I'm sure. Yeah, now we can fly up a rocket with 1 seat to the Death Egg 2 and fight Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic is just actually straight up unfair. Like, no joke, he is absolutely broken. he has attacks that just go through your barrier and break them as well. And all of his attacks do like half of your health bar.
This is a classic quarter eater boss fight if I've ever
Exactly.
seen one.
It's easy to... Yep, I already lost a round. That's how annoying this fight is. This is why my estimate is 15 minutes. Is because if this fight decides to be mean, I will potentially be here for a few attempts. Alright, there we go. Yep, there's that attack, and that attack does like all of my health. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Got one round on him. Now I just need to do that again. That first round is pretty common to lose because you're stuck trying to break his barriers the entire time while he has just full reign on demolishing you. Oh, he hit me with the Unibeam. Yeah, like his moveset is genuinely broken, in addition to the fact that he does infinite damage. There we go. And that is... that is time.
GG's.
Alright, and even though that is time, there is technically a bonus fight that... The reason why time stops there is because this fight does not add to the in-game timer, and the actual leaderboards for this game are based on in-game time. So bonus Eggman fight. This fight is kind of a joke. And you'll see why in a second.
Oh, I love his doofy little robot. Oh, poor guy.
And there we go. That's why that fight's a joke.
GG's.
But that has been Sonic the Fighters, and honestly, despite losing around to Metal Sonic and losing around to Bean, not a terrible time.
Yeah, that looked like it was moving pretty much the whole time. Nice and quick.
Yeah. Yeah, like, as a kid, I played this game in the Sonic Gems collection for the Nintendo GameCube. I don't know if I might have beaten Metal Sonic like once as a kid. That fight is genuinely just unfair. So I'm very glad that it didn't act too mean tonight.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you for a fabulous Sonic the Fighters run, Sam. Where can the people find you?
If you want to see me play games that are probably not Sonic, because I don't normally play Sonic games, but you can find me over at twitch.tv/illegallysam. But I did want to do Sonic the Fighters for this, because I both ironically and unironically like this game a lot.
That makes sense. Yeah, it seems like a good one for that kind of relationship. It's got a lot of charm, it's got a lot of goofy, and it's got just enough amount of salt to get you to really come back to it with a vengeance.
Exactly. Also, bonus fun fact, you can actually play as Metal Sonic and Eggman, and they are both very, very broken in actual versus mode.
Excellent. I love that. All right. Well, chat, we are going to get ready for the next run here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a short little duck interstitial as we have had so far for the marathon. And then when we are all set for the next game, we will come back and let you know.